What's your relationship like with Mo, the organizer of ADCC?
I mean, it's been a love-hate relationship. I guess
Like
it's
with
been
Gabby?
like any good relationship, if you don't get blocked at the end of it, were you really in love to begin with?
Right.
That's my thoughts anyway. But so in terms of my friendship with Mo, me and Mo were really close friends for a long time. Would talk a lot. He was instrumental in us moving Danaher Death Squad to Puerto Rico. He lives in Puerto Rico, spends most of his time in Puerto Rico. I've spent time with him in Florida, California, but in terms of our relationship, I'm trying to think of an exact time where it went south. But I guess him being the ADCC organizer, in my attack of athlete compensation was taken personally, which is obviously going to ruin whatever friendship you had.
And that started around the time you were thinking about CJI.
I mean, to be honest, CJI was a result of the response of my discussion of athlete compensation. So me and Mo had been close friends. Even after the Danaher team broke up, we were still close friends for quite a while after that. But it does complicate things when someone is, for all intents and purposes, he, as an ADCC competitor, and he runs ADCC, the event, he's in control of it now. He is your boss. So that does complicate our friendship.
Have you had a conversation since you announced CJI?
Have we had a conversation?
When did you get blocked?
I honestly didn't get blocked. I was just joking. Nah. Honestly, we had a disagreement about athlete compensation. I said, let's do a podcast and talk about it because I'm a big fan of transparency. If you think I'm an idiot for thinking athletes should get paid more, tell me it. Show it to me. And I've made public statements. Other people have asked why we don't get paid more money. You can both tell me and the world at the same time, the grappling world at the same time, but was not interested in doing a podcast. Again, maybe he thought I was going to hit him with some gotcha questions or something, but really at the end of the day, I personally believe you've got nothing to hide. If you are confident in the business decisions you've made, then there's no gotcha moment that I could actually do. I would have done the podcast if I looked like a complete idiot, would have released it anyway, because it would be a good message to where we are in the sport. But again, considering what I know about Thomas and Mac's price, which I believe we're paying $200,000 for, and T-Mobile's $2 million, how do you justify no increase in athlete pay while we have a $1.8 million increase in venue cost?
So you're saying there could potentially be poor business decisions, poor allocation of money that could be reallocated better to support the athletes?
I've never once thought this was some organization where Mo's like stealing money for himself. I'm just saying that, and again, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So he might fully think that what he's doing is going to grow the sport. I'm going about it in a completely different way. I don't think we need T-Mobile. I don't think we need it behind a paywall. I think we need cheap venue, still maintain good quality production, release it for free. If you want something to grow, present it for free.
Is there a future where the two of you talk?
Yeah, for sure. He keeps insisting on talking face to face. I don't have a problem with that, but my argument is this is a public feud. Public, like we're having a disagreement. Let's settle the disagreement in a way that answers the question to the fans. Because if one of us is a complete idiot, then I believe the world of people following this story are entitled to know which one of us is an idiot.
If you talk to him, would you be good faith? Like, would you turn the troll down from 11 to like a 3?
Yeah, I don't even think I need to troll him. I just say, hey, why, like, show us the books. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, when our event's done, we're going to be pretty transparent. Obviously, we are ran as a non-profit. We're going to be pretty transparent about everything. And I mean, obviously, ultimately, all the views we get, when an event's on Flow Grappling or Fight Pass or any other streaming provider, unless it's a pay-per-view, you're not going to know how many people watched. So that's one aspect of what we're doing is we're going to have a visual sort of guide to how many people are fans of grappling.
Yeah, transparency in all of its forms. That's what bothers me about the IOC with the Olympics, is that there's this organization that puts on an incredible event, but it's completely opaque. It's not transparent. And the athletes don't get paid almost at all. So it's usually from sponsorships. And they sell distribution, broadcast distribution. And so like it's mostly paywalled after the fact. It's very, unless you're a super famous athlete or a famous event, it's hard to watch. I don't know, the early rounds of the weightlifting or the judo or the all of the competitions, where most of those athletes get paid almost nothing and they've dedicated their whole life. Like they've sacrificed everything to be there, and we don't get to watch them openly. You can't, in many cases, you can't even pay for it. With IOC, I've got to experience this because I'll have like podcast conversations with like judoka, for example, and I put like a little clip in a podcast, and the Olympics channel takes it down immediately. So they have all the videos uploaded private. They're private.
Oh, to flag the copyright.
They just flag the copyright automatically. From the private videos they could release. They could release somewhere, even if it's paywall, which I'm against, but paywall it, but make it super easily accessible. So the flow grappling model is still okay. I'm against it. But if you do a really good job of it, okay, I can kind of understand a membership fee, but like it should be super easy to use. But in the case of the Olympics, first of all, in the case of the Olympics, the whole point of the Olympics is for it to be accessible to everybody. So paywalling goes against the spirit of the Olympic Games. And I would say the same is probably true for many sports like grappling, especially for major events like ADCC, that I feel like that should be openly accessible to everybody, like on every platform. But what was the decision like for you to make it accessible on YouTube and X? And
well, I mean, just because basically it's going to grow the sport. You know what I mean? Like if you have to subscribe to a platform to watch something you have a mild interest in, a mild curiosity in, there's a financial barrier there. So I want to open it up because, again, we have an investor who's contributing and is happy for it to be spent this way, happy for us not to be held hostage by these sort of streaming providers. And really, like, again, I'm not making accusations against Flow Grappling or UFC Fight Pass. They are making the right business decision by not providing streamer numbers, because that's leverage that those people can use against the streaming provider. But for me as an individual athlete that really wants to understand the metrics of how many people actually watch this sport, to leverage that in my own sponsorship negotiations, then if I'm in a position to have this out free and also give every athlete involved the same metrics and information, like you will literally be able to see the spikes when you compete, and you'll be able to take that and present it for opportunities for sponsorships, for businesses to say, look how many views this got. I was one of the most viewed moments of this event. So I want to put the power back in the athlete and take it away from the host.
And it creates a lot of incentive for the athlete to make it exciting.
Yeah, this is your time. It might never happen again. I fully intend to run this every year. That's the goal. But again, it might never happen again.
Is there a possible future where the 2026 ADCC is run by Craig Jones?
Could I take over ADCC? I think from an ADCC perspective, it would make a lot of sense. I think it would make a lot of sense to wait to see if this event turns into Fire Festival first before you commit to something like that. But I think a more modern approach to the promotion of the event. Again, I keep going back to the comedians. You know what I mean? If you want to grow your brand, whatever that may be, provide content for free, and you can paywall it. Eventually, you can grow the audience, create the audience free. You know, I think again, if your goal is to create a huge sport here, then it's like if we're already a niche sport and competition aspect of that is an even smaller niche, then we need to grow that, providing this content for free.
Well, having just chatted with Elon Musk, who fundamentally believes that the most entertaining outcome is the most likely, that to me, if the universe has a sense of humor, you would certainly, Craig Jones would certainly be running ADCC, which would be, I mean, it would just be like beautifully hilarious.
It would be a poetic
Yeah.
ending. It would be a underdog story from a man that could never win the event to running the event on behalf of the Sheikh Tahnoon.